recording in progress. Here we go. Modification of classic moves. And why are these classic moves? Because they typically will get you moving in different ways than you're normally used to moving in. And it starts working on not just your muscles, not just your bones. It works on your lymph system. It works on your synovial fluid. It gets everything going. So what's a typical, how many of you remember the typical jumping jack? I can hear AJ. Yeah, right. So let me just show you the typical jumping jack, of course, is this. We're not going to do that, right? We're going to go like this. See that? We're going to go like this. See that? But we're also going to go like this. I know. So that's different than just slugging out some jumping jacks. Okay? So I go forward, I go forward, I go side with one leg, I go side with one leg, and I could even go back, but I'm not going to do that right now. So let me recap for those of you who are just coming on. I said hi to everybody, and then we muted. And now I'm showing you classics, but modifications. This would typically be a jumping jack. Oh yeah, I used to do those. Some of you did those. Now, I showed you the modification of what I'm doing with my feet. I didn't emphasize the modification I'm doing with my upper body, my arms, okay? Do you see that I'm not taking them all the way up? No, I have my elbows bent. I go to the side. When I'm going to the side, my knee is soft, okay? So all your lining up is in place here. See how I'm keeping my elbows bent? I don't have to go fast. Some of you remember the jumping jacks. And so you're starting to go, you're going, oh yeah, jumping jacks, we have to go real fast. Well, the whole reason you went fast is to jump. We're not jumping, okay? So I'm stepping forward, stepping side. But every time I do this, I'm doing a single leg stance for a split second. So what does that mean? That means I have to have my tummy tight. That means I have to keep my shoulders down, even though I'm taking my hands up like this. And you notice my elbows are very bent. Yeah, you don't want to do repeated up over the head, especially if you have a forward head syndrome, because then it looks like this and you're straining. And I don't want that. I want this. So even if you have to just tap here, see, tap here, bring your hands up, tap to the side, tap to the side. See, I'm just tapping into my shoulders if I needed to modify further, okay? My tummy is super tight. I'm breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. My knee is soft. So every time that I do this, and I do that split second, single leg stance, okay? My knee is soft. That means I have to really line myself up. See that? So tight tummy, boom, boom. See that? Yeah. And I go forward and back. So I'm doing a modification of my arms. I could go up here, but keep my elbows bent. I don't have to go up here. As a matter of fact, if you have that forward head syndrome, if you have a significant roll to your shoulders, I don't want you going up over your head. I would rather you concentrate on keeping your shoulders down and bringing your elbows up just to here, rather than doing this and you're going to be way out here because you have that forward head or that bent shoulder, okay? So that's the modified jumping jack. So you can do as many of those as you want. It's fine, okay? Then we're going to, how many of you have ever skated? Okay? Have you ever skated? Okay? And you know, you're crossing your legs, where you go back and you're swinging your arms, right? You're swinging your arms. So here's the deal. So this would be a jump. This would typically be, I would get jump and jump and jump. I don't want to jump, but I want to do the motion. So again, think of skating, speed skating, especially. This is for my guys. Okay? You swing your leg, your arms, you bring your leg behind you and you tap. Okay? So instead of jumping, what am I going to do? I'm going to put the leg behind you, but I'm not going to jump, but I am going to do a modified squat. So see, when you start doing this, I see people just kind of doing this. Boom, 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 and they're not thinking. So think you're putting your leg back here. This leg is going to take most of it. Say rib cage up and come down until you feel this kick. And then come back. And then go the other way. Okay? And you're swinging your arms in a pendulum, but you are definitely doing a single leg squatting type motion. See that? See, I'm behind. Now you could go in front. All right. So this is a great way to get warmed up. You don't have to go fast. I want to emphasize that. So some of you need to work a little slower, a little more on purpose. You need to have a chair in place. You need to have a wall next to you in case you get off balance. Yes, but these are skaters. So it's a skate step, okay? And as I come down, I want to hesitate for a split second. But I do a lot of these, 10, 20, up to 30, okay? And I'm sure Kathy's counting. I think maybe we're already there. Big breath, keep your shoulders down, keep your rib cage up as you step back. And if you need to break it down further to get this step load correct, just take your hands out of the equation right now, okay? Just step behind, right here, step behind, say rib cage up, keep your shoulders down, then gently start to add those arm swings. See them? So when we go through this kind of change up, and again, I'm using classic moves that I've used all my life in the gym. I'm just modifying them, okay? So typically this is the skater step. And many of you might notice this move in regards to this. Yes. So I'm using the same muscles. I'm using some of the same motions that you want to be really good at if you're doing bowling, right? But I'm asking you to go on both sides. So I'm asking you to equalize. So we're not just going to go on our preferred side. So instead of swinging my hands like this, I'm going to pretend I got a bowling ball right here. I'm down to throw the thing. See that? So I know I still have bowlers out there. I know Ed bowls. I don't know if he's on, but this typically could be a disastrous move if your back is all rounded up, if you're not sure about your balance, if you can't get down there, okay? So I'm doing all of that in this step. step back. Here's my bowling ball. I'm going to come down low. And when I come down low, my chin is tucked and I'm down and my back is extended. And I'm going to come back up. In through the nose, out through the nose. So this is our modification of classic moves that we need to do if we keep having our birthdays and we keep having joints, issues, arthritis, you know, the whole gamut. The whole purpose I'm doing these, instead of just rotely walking and warming you up this way, I'm going through about 4 or so classic moves that you've known. So far we've done the jumping jack modification, then we did the skater move, and now a real classic is called a burpee, okay? A burpee, typically, this is the move. You go down, you thrust your legs back, then you come back up, then you come back up, and you jump. And you're doing all this on a jump. Okay, I still want to do those moves because I still want to keep those joints and those muscles good around those joints. But I'm going to modify. I'm going to use my chair, or I could use a bench, a lower bench. It's up to you. But I'm going to go right here. I'm going to step back. I'm going to step up. So instead of thrusting both my feet back at the same time, which could cause a problem to many people who have issues with joints, with backs, there's a number of things. I don't want to do that, but I want to get the benefit of a full body. See, so I go 1, 2. So let's break this down. My elbows are soft, number 1. When I come up, I come all the way up, then I come back down, and instead of just slogging through and putting one leg back and one leg back, I kind of do a little bit of a lilt, okay? It's a kind of a press back and a press up and stand up. When you're standing up and you're done type thing, see that? Shoulders have to be down, elbows soft, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose if possible, getting ready for my next burpee, okay? Some people have called these a squat thrust. So for those of you who want to do a modified first modification, well, you can go ahead and kind of jump back there, jump back up, come back up, open up, see that? Then the second modification would be what I just showed you. You're doing that little lilt, that little lilting step, okay? So you're supported right here, elbows are bent, shoulders are in, press back, back up, it's kind of a lilt. Present all the way up, shoulders are down, breathing in through your nose, definitely in through your nose, out through your nose if possible. Here we go, elbows bent, tuck your chin, press back, come back in, come back up. Now, if you're feeling pretty good in the move and you've done a full body move for at least one set, now we're going to stay down for the second set. So we're going to go into this. We're going to go back and forth, back and forth. See, it's a kind of a toe press. You're just pressing back. And so why do I emphasize to do this? And if you have joints such that you can't do that, then just by all means, step back, then step back in. But if you can do like a quick step, in and out, in and out, breath, in through the nose, out through the nose, breath, keep your shoulders down, stay down there with me. We're going out and in approximately 10 times. Might be more, might be less, usually more. Keep your elbows soft. Breathe. Yeah, good body position. Okay, 2 more. 1 more. And come up, and come up. Okay, now we could go back and do the 3rd set, which I'm not going to do right now, where we go down and up, down and up. So that is the squat thrust or the burpee, and it's modified, okay? And so basically what we did was the 4th one, which is a mountain climber. And I had you stay down there on the mountain climber because it's one at a time. A burpee is actually both feet at a time, but I let you separate them. So a mountain climber, you'd be all the way down on the floor, see, like this. And then you would bring one toe in, then the other toe. One toe in and the other toe, but you do it on a jump. You would actually jump into this move, okay? I'm not having you jump. And here's the modification. You're on a chair. You're on a counter. You're on a side of a bed. Elevate. But watch the way you use your upper body, okay? So a mountain climber is quite quick, okay? And as you're doing this and your hands are on the chair, do not go back all the time. Stay with your shoulder over your wrists. And you're holding on. You can keep your wrists neutral or not, okay? Right here. And then you just exchange it quickly. So it's just a quick tap. Try not to lean your head down. That's a real, it's a real temptation to drop your chin, drop your head. Don't do that. Keep your chin tucked. See how I'm just tapping? Tapping, tapping, tight tummy, keep your elbows bent. Breath. And you can do it slowly, see? This is perfectly fine. And if you want to go out further, because you're doing it slower, then you're going to get more of that heel stretch. So I think of, this would be the one that I would choose for somebody like Bonnie. See, I think Bonnie's on. I'm not sure. See there? See, I would just do it slower. Okay? But I'd stay with it for a bit. Don't just do a few and then say, oh, you know, let me quit. No, make it be that warm up and let it help you with your joints. Drop those shoulders, tight tummy, keep the chin tuck. So, you know, I go through all these steps instead of just saying, okay, get in alignment. Because there might be somebody joining that doesn't know how to get in alignment, okay? So when I'm in this position, now I've done the warm up, and now I'm hammering on my calf and my soleus. And how do I do that? I bend the back knee slightly, and you'll feel that stretch go into the soleus, then straighten the leg and it's in the calf. Switch. Bend the back knee a little bit. This one. Drop your shoulders. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your nose if possible. Keep your shoulders dropped. Okay? Keep that heel down. The knee is bent. Now straighten the leg and press yourself in toward the chair. And now you're going to get your calf. So if you bend your knee, you're going to go on down into the ankle more. Achilles. Yeah. Okay? And you just take a few minutes to do that kind of a move. Then we're going to take the chair. We're going to turn it around. We're going to step in. So I'm just prepping you for our session that we're going to be doing today with strength work. Okay, here we go. So when I do this move, do not tighten through the gluteals. Just don't do that, okay? Just release. I'm trying to get you to open up here. So you put your hands here on the chair, Drop your chin, step back, and then push the hips into the back of the chair. See that? Push that hip right into the chair. Soften your knees. Some of you have locked your knees. I know it. I know it. You may ask, well, how do you know that we've locked our knees? Because that's what slugs do. They do little cheater moves. So I keep prompting you at the moves to help this be more beneficial, okay? Then I just come right back out of that. I take a big deep breath. I have my chair always here in case I need it, because now we're going to go into just a quick tune-up of all the hip apparatus, okay? So how would you do that? Number one, we're standing. That's huge. If you have joint issues, the minute you come into a room, you know what you do? You look for a chair, okay? I refuse chairs a lot because I would rather stand. So I'm stepping forward and back. See that? I have my chair here if I need it. I'm not going to use it if I don't need it. I'm going to step out. I'm going to keep my heel down. And I'm going to go into a forward and back, hip width apart or shoulder width apart lunge. See that? Yeah, so remember this move because we're going to add that onto our modifications, because a true lunge, you know, is coming all the way down to the floor with your knee. So we're not ready for that yet. We're going to finish up the hip thing. Okay, what's the hip thing? Number one, I'm going to keep my hands like this. I'm going to step out. I'm going to sink into the leg I stepped into. See that? This is straight. So as I do that, I'm going to go boom, boom, as I'm in this move. And I just do it a couple of times. Because see, I'm not doing this necessarily for load. I'm doing this for hip mobility, okay? So if you have wonky hips, try to remember this sequence right now. So what did I do? I did a step forward, slight lunge, heel down, yes, tight tummy, ribcage up. See, if I looked at you, I would want to see your ear over your shoulder over your hips, and then the knee is right there. See the back knee? See, I'm not out like this. That's not what I want. Then I'm going to come back. So I'm just reviewing. Okay, I stepped out. You can make this harder or easier depending on how far you step out. And did a couple of times. Then I go to the side and I sink into the stepping leg. This leg is still. And if you have issues in your hips, this one's going to highlight where that issue might be, where that tightness might be. So see how I come up and then I come back down? And I just do this a couple of times. Okay, and you can step as wide or as close in as you can. But if you'll put your hands right here so that you feel how you're bending. Yeah, and we're going to do on the other side again because we started the arms, but then I got sidetracked. Imagine that. Okay, here we go. Right here, see that? Little tiny stretch here. Yes. Push the butt back. Yes. Chin tucked in. Yes. Okay. Shoulders down. Big breath, big breath. Now we're going to do the last one in this sequence. So what is it? I'm going to do a step out lunge. And the leg that steps is the leg that you sink into. So I'll do it like this so you see what I'm doing. See, I'm going to turn my foot and I'm going to bend and sink into this leg right here. Okay? So this kind of moving through your hips, you need to do these three. If you do nothing else, you need to do at least these three. Now we'll highlight some other ones, but you need to be able to turn your toe out, sink a little, say rib cage up, a little pressure right here, no pressure in the knee, okay? And see how that's floating, see how that's feeling. So tightness and balances all through the hip, front and back and around is a big deal, okay? So now we're gonna come back after we did that very complete warm up. And now we're gonna start doing some loading. So what am I gonna do? First thing I'm gonna do is put on my gloves, which if you haven't already done, you need to do. Okie dokie. Here's my little gloves. These are my weight training gloves. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is a simple, because I'm doing classics today. I'm doing riffs on classic moves. I already took you through a really good range of motion warm up. That if you went back and did that whole segment again, like just run the video back if you're ever pulling this up on YouTube, and do that 3 cycles. The whole thing that we did to begin with, it was about 4 classic moves that I modified for you. Okay, now a carry. So I'm picking up my 2 jugs. Okay, you could pick up 2 hand weights if you don't really have jugs. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and do a careful carry to begin with, because I want to see on my challenge leg, used to be my knee, but now it's the side that I got my hip replaced on. So people that have double hips replaced, you are special. That is for sure. What does that mean? Well, you're special, but it also means you have to move differently. You have to decide that that's an okay thing. So what I have to do, I've noticed, is I have to slow down and I have to set my load bearing on that leg that I tend to want to lean too much. And when I lean too much, I don't get those muscles that are weak strong. Does this make sense? But you see, you have to find out where that is for you. I know where it is for me. So when I step like this and I'm ready to take pressure in this leg, if I don't think about it really hard, when I release my foot and I come up to take the next step, while I'm loaded, I will lean too much into that leg. And why do we not want to do that? So one reason, I just told you, is you avoid the weak part of your leg and you lean too much. And the second part is it makes you look wobbly, okay? And you know, God knows we don't want to be wobbly looking. I hope you're laughing at that. So this is just a couple of the challenges that we have. Okay, now I'm going to add some moves to this very simple carry. This is a classic. This is a classic. So take that step, see? Now, pull yourself back. You have your 2 jugs, or you have your 2 cans, or you have your 2 weights. Now, share your weight from the front leg to the back leg, and then bend the back knee. And I want you to come down and come down. If you can keep your heel down, come down as far as you can, keeping your heel down. Yeah, it'll stop you. And then you're going to want to start leaning. Don't lean. Stay down there. Take a breath. Now we're going to bring one jug up and the other jug up while we're standing in a split stance, basically, with our heels down. Okay? Take a breath. Now, when you bring these up, do not hang your head out. You pull that chin under, get your heels down, go down a little further, even if it's just barely a half an inch. Drop. Yes. Shoulders down. Yes. Chin tucked. Yes. Breathing into the nose, out every time that you lift. Keep your shoulders down. Stay in that stance. Big breath. Breath. If you get wobbly, make sure you have a chair next to you. Do not shut your eyes on this one. Take a breath. Take a breath. Keep your shoulders down. Keep your shoulders down. Keep your shoulders down. Now drop 1 more inch. Half inch, 1/4 of an inch. Keep your heels down. Keep your heels down. Breath, breath, and then come back. Okay. Put your little carry items on your chair just for a second. Okay. Shake out your hands just for a second. Okay. Shake them out. Shake them out. Okay. Here we go. Look. See my hands? Okay. This is the leg that was behind. This was the leg that was having to bend with my heel down. Don't forget which leg was back because we're going to go to the other one in just a second. Turn that foot that was behind you out. Okay? And you should be able to feel just a little stretch. Yeah. Take a breath. Big breath. Turn that leg out and pull the fingers in. Take a breath and then come under. So here's the thing. Many of you have wrist and thumb issues and they get sore. It hurts. And sometimes they're from joints that are having problems, arthritis, whatever. But by virtue of arthritis, anytime that you do have that and you know it's that, here's the thing. And while I'm going through this little tirade, step back with the other foot. But your hands, you start thinking, oh, I have carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel is about a nerve thing. And a lot of times it's because we haven't taken care of our muscles in our forearm, okay? Front and back. So just doing this kind of a thing, especially for my computer people, okay? Especially when you're doing things like bowling, especially when you're doing things like cooking. Stop, take a few seconds, drop your little shoulders, say rib cage up, and pull that whole hand back as well as your thumb. And then pull them under and give them a gentle stretch. See that? And do it on both hands. Now I'm already in my stance. I'm already in my split stance. It's going to be a kind of a modified lunge. And I'm going to just reach over here and grab my little jugs. So you go ahead and pick up whatever weights you have. I can hear somebody, usually Nancy, saying, well, how much does that weigh, Jeannie? How much does that weigh? This is 10, and this is 10. Okie dokie. So now I'm in that split stance again, correct? Do not hang your head out. Say rib cage up, and then bend the back knee as far as you can, but you got to keep your heel down. Okie dokie. Keep that heel down. Come on down. Come on down. Now, while you're in this move, we're going to go ahead and use that wrist. We're going to bring this up. And see, I can do that quite well if I had a kettlebell or if I have jugs. And I have jugs. See these jugs? Yeah. See this? So when I do that, and you can do it with just your free weights, that would be fine. But every time that you go to pull this up, okay, try to keep it steady. It's going to shake a little. It's okay. Take a breath. You have to really grip to do this, all right? I want you to really grip. Drop that knee in the back. Drop the shoulders. Say rib cage up. Here we go. Pull, keep that elbow in. Yeah, don't flare the elbow, okay? Drop the knee again, say rib cage up. Breath. You have to really grip and then come down. So this is 10 pounds for me. Okie dokie. This is like a hammer curl, but I am using my hand, my wrist, my forearm. I'm gripping pretty hard. Then you release. Then you get yourself lined up again. Bend the back knee, get the heel down. Here we go. Right here, right here. And bring it down. Here we go, here we go. Right there. And back down. Yay. And then come back in. Okay? That should have got your attention. I know it. This is when Kathy wants to punch me. Okay, are you ready? So a little break here. I'm going to go to the side. You remember this move? We did it in the warm-up. Yeah. But now I have 2 weights hanging off my hands here. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means if I do this skater step, that I've just added weight, number 1, and I can't, my hands aren't free to hang on to anything. So I'm saying, if you wanted to modify this so that you were safe, you would do it by your chair and you would do it with one weight, and you would go ahead and step into that. See, I can do this quite easily. See that? So that I don't get all worried and then change. See that? So I'm going to come to the other side, and I may not go all the way behind my foot. Okay, maybe I'm just going to step back. Maybe I'm just going to step back and kind of cross over. Okay, but I'm telling you, doing these moves that we've done this morning with our legs is putting a different kind of load. But it's very functional. It's very doable because I've broken it down and I've modified, but I'm trying to squeeze out of you some really good leg strengthening moves today, okay? And be safe in some of these a little more complicated steps. What are you doing with your shoulders? Maybe you're not ready to do this with, something in your hands. Take a big breath. Stepping, 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 and big breath. Then I'm going to just take this and I'm going to go very wide. I'm going to take my loads and put them right here. See that? So my feet are pretty straight. You can have your toes bent out a bit, just a little bit, and we'll do some with inversions and eversions, but right now it's pretty straight on because I'm going to go down and retrieve my 20 pounds. Okay? Are you ready? So I'm going to push my butt back. I'm going to grab these, keep my chin tucked, pull, and then bring them right here beside my face, right where my ear is. See that? So I already prepped you to use your wrist like this, didn't I? Okay? So just remember, it's a grip. I got 10 pounds and 10 pounds. Okay, so I'm down for the count. Drop your butt, not your head. Drop your butt. Now you're going to pull. And from here, you're going to press and press. You're going to bring those jugs right here. Take a big deep breath. Come down. Come down. Come down. Take a breath. So when you're in the drops, get your butt down, way down here. Yeah, and then you're going to come here, breath, here, bring it right into the solar plexus, right there. Press on your whole foot. So one of the things you want to make sure you're not doing is rolling your foot. Keep your all 4 corners. Breath. Keep your butt pushing back. Stay in to your whole foot. Press. Go. Just 2 more. Just 2 more. Just 2 more. 1 more. Okay, bring it up. Bring it up. Right to here. Bring it in. Big breath. Shoulders. Big breath. Shoulders. breath. Shoulders to the ears, breath. Shoulders. Now push them down hard. Yeah. Breath. Go. Breath. Go. Now we're going to stay right here and do just a typical classic move, which is a bent over row. So I'm going to come right here. I'm just going to pull those carries, those jugs up. I'm not going to hang my head. See, I don't want this. I want to tuck my chin. I want to push my butt back. I want to come down into the heels. And then I want to pull. And as I pull, I go all the way to the ground. Then I pull through the shoulders. I keep my chin tucked. Pull through the shoulders. Keep my chin tucked. Don't hang your head down. So when you are at your highest level right here, I want to feel your shoulder blades squeezing together. That's the whole idea of this. Okay? Take a breath, stay into your feet, into your heels, pull. Yeah, readjust. Keep your chin tucked. Breathe, exhale. Breathe in, exhale. Woo! Go. Breath, go. Breath, go. Squeeze those shoulders. Okay, just two more. Okay, heels. Was that two? Okay, one more. Oh. Okay, that was just a classic bent over row. Okay, now I'm going to keep my carries because I'm doing riffs on classics that I've modified to be more joint healthy. Okay, so here's a good one that we're going to put a little interset in here to give our hands a rest. So you can see my chair. See that? So I'm going to act like I'm going to sit down on the side of the chair. See there? I'm going to sit down on the side of the chair. See that? And I'm going to, we've done this one many times, but I'm going to keep my toes on the ground. So I'm not doing this for a stretch necessarily. Okay, so let me set that up again. So we're sitting on the side of the chair. We have to lean over and we have to pull that toe back and then put the knee down. Now my toe is down, but it's got to go back a little further because I want to try to put a little pressure in these legs in this position, and I can do it with the chair. Okay, so here I'm going to sit right here. I'm going to put one hand on this post and one hand on this post. So if you do this, this is very doable. I'm doing it from the chair. So those of us with multiple joints replaced, many times we don't get into these positions right here. See that? See, I'm using one hand, the other hand, or both. And I'm dropping that knee down as far as I can. See that? Keep your shoulders down. Keep your shoulders down. You should be feeling a powerful work on that back leg. Do as many as you can. Okay, so see, I could say, oh yeah, let's keep going till 10. But you may not have it there. So come down right here. Lean back. Let that stretch a bit. See how my toes are curled under? Ready to do a push-up, basically, with our feet. Okay, stay with me. I just want to get you in this position because actually, if this is one that you really find that you can get into this position, this does a great job of loading these legs without hurting joints. Okay, so here's my hand here, here's my hand here. Okay, toe is under, rib cage up. Now put the pressure, come into the position, into this very nice lunge position, but then you're using your chair to help lower yourself and come back, lower yourself, come back, lower yourself, come back, take a breath, try to use one hand, okay? If you can, breath, keep your shoulders down, breath, keep your shoulders down, and then come back down, okay? So I'm gonna bring that leg here. Woo! I'm gonna bring my hands back. So I'm doing a lot of these today with like classic moves that you have done in different fitness or gym classes or something like that, and I've modified them. This is a modification of the classic lunge, which we do variations all the time. However, we don't usually get ourselves down this low to take our knee close to the ground, okay? So I'm gonna turn just a little more so you can see what the heck I'm doing. So I'm right here. See, I'm over to the edge. It's the classic stretch that we do like this, but I tell you to put the top of your laces on the ground. So this time we just go back really far, but we don't put our laces on the ground. See that? And I can put my hand right here and right here. Then I straighten myself up. Okay, now I'm ready to load. So I'm gonna come into a stance and I'm gonna drop and come up. I'm gonna do my best to load that leg. So this is my weak leg now. This used to be my strong leg. Believe it or not, this is my weak leg now because of the hip replacement. So this is a great way to get positive load into that leg. Help yourself. You can use both hands. Take a big breath. Breath. Yeah, and just bring that knee right on down. And you'll start feeling this heat up right here. Stay upright. Really put it back there. It won't take that many. Take a breath. I got about 3 more proper form lunges here. And then sit. And then bring it up. Okay. Just take a break. We're going to go back and get a few more on that one. So I really want to show you this today because some of you have noticed, oh, geez, I can't climb those stairs like I used to. Number one, keep climbing the stairs, but you have to get overload is the point. And if you had like a weight vest and did this with a weight vest, whoo, okay, I gave you a rest. Did you notice that? I just wanted to point that out. Okay, put your leg back here, but don't put the laces down, okay? Go as wide as you can because it is a lunge. Your knee is headed down. Okay, now you're gonna help yourself to get in position. And then you're going to really drop that knee. Stay lined up. Press. Get that knee right down. Breath. 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 Use both hands if you need to, but don't lean in. Keep your chin tucked. Stay into it. Stay into it. Stay into it. Breath. Keep that knee down. Keep that knee down. Get that overload going. Should be shaking just a little. Breath. Breath. Woo! And down. Nice. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you did most of those. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, even if I can't see you. Okay, so now I'm stepped out. See that? That's number one. Number two, I'm going to come right into this kind of a thing. See this? Okay. You might think this is a nothing move. This is a something move. When you rotate back, keep your chin tucked, then you rotate forward. You want to have your knees, your legs open, all right? Sit at the very end of your chair. Breathe in the nose, out the nose if possible. Yeah, don't bring your shoulders up. Breathe in through the nose and don't bring your shoulders up. If you will do that, you will start the mechanics of deep breathing. Okay. When you go back like this and come back, and then especially when we lift one leg versus the other leg, you're doing what's called flossing, and you're doing it all through the hips for sure. And then if you add turns, gentle turns in between the sets, see how I put my hand under there and I'm pulling myself around? Oh my goodness, this is the move to get all your systems flushed and going. You're the one that can do that. Nobody else can do that for you. So see, I just tuck my hand right back here. It pulls my shoulder open. I'm staying upright, chin is tucked. I don't turn my knees here. They're straight forward. And then I come back in through the nose, keep your shoulders down, turn and pull against that. Big breath, pull, big breath, big breath, big breath, reach, 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 reach. Then you come back. You do that a few times. Oh my goodness. It's like you have helped yourself so much to just feel comfortable in your own skin, okay? Okay, so before we do the next move, let's go back to this. See how I gave you a little break there, see? So I open, I say rib cage up, and then I lift the dang knee. Oh my goodness, and my toe is up, and it's gonna go point flex, heel touch, 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 point flex, and heel. And come back in all the way. And then open back. Drop your shoulders, drop your chin. Reach that heel out. And lift. And you go point, flex, heel touch. Point, flex, heel touch. Point, flex, heel touch. Yeah, we're gonna keep it going. Say rib cage up, drop your shoulders, breathing in through the nose. This is a famous one for anybody with hip or knee or core consideration. Get to where you can do 30 of these suckers, okay? Stop and take a break, come back in, finish the sets, do 15 and 15. Do 3 sets of 10, break in between. But get to where you can be tough enough to hang out there for a bit, okay? I know. Woo, okay. Drop your shoulders, okay? Here's my little jugs. Remember them? Okay, so now we're sitting. Now I'm gonna get my 10-pounder jug and my 10-pounder jug. See that? Yeah, just sitting right there on the lap. Okay. Now, for this next one, do not sit in a 90 degrees with your hip. That's too much pressure when you go to do the next move. Open back a little. Tighten in your tummy. Hold those jugs right there with like 2 fingers. See this? See this? Yeah. That's what I want. Breath, 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 in through the nose, out through the mouth, or through the nose, whichever that you can handle. But you're opened back, you're lifting, and see, you might think, oh, this is no problem at all. And I would say, see, but then I would say, well, then let's make it a little harder. So open back. I feel Kathy's eyes rolling right now. Okay, drop your shoulders, lean back. You ready? We already practiced this next move. We just didn't have 10 pounds on our legs, okay? So I'm gonna go lift, and then I'm gonna take my leg out. Now I'm gonna go up and down. Take a breath. Breath. Whew. Breath. Breath. And breath. And then bring that heel under and up. under, like a hinge, just like a hinge, just like a hinge. Just do 6, you know, something like that. And then come in. Yes, that should get your attention. Take a breath. In through the nose, drop your shoulders, out through the nose if possible. Open, lift that leg up and bring it down. And if you want to make it a little harder, just lengthen your lever, your leg. See this? So this is core work. This is great back strengthening if you keep your back extended. And it's great for your flexors, your hip flexors right here. Woo. Breath, go, breath. Now I'm gonna do the hinge. See? Hinge, keep it up there, keep it up there. Hinge, hinge, yes, yes, and come back. Okay, you got these 2 jugs. You can have 2 weights. It should be a pretty good weight. It should be at least, you know, what you consider heavy. Okay, so it should be the 8 or 9. Could be 10, could be 12 for some of you. You get to say, why am I doing it with these jugs? Because I'm trying to show you that if you are anywhere and you get a jug that won't leak and fill it up, it'll be right at 10 pounds. That's how much water weighs. Okay, so I'm gonna bring these down here like this. Remember that? Then I'm gonna bring them up and then I'm just gonna press right there together. So I'm coming up, my elbows are forward. Breath. You got a grip for this. Breath. 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 Go. Go. Breath. Breath. Just a couple more, couple more, couple more. Grip. Keep going. Okay, 2 more, 2 more. 1 more. Bring it down. Open. Yes. Lead the choir. Here we go. Come up. Bring those elbows in. And open. Okay. And open. Drop your shoulders. Number 1. Palms are down. If this is a problem, do this whole thing that I'm going to do with your hands lower. Okay. That's one way to modify. The other way is to bend your elbows a little bit. But my goal is to get you to be able to do this at shoulder level. Tuck your shoulders and start the rotation. Now, while I do this, I'm just going to do heel ups. So I'm just going into the ball of my foot as I'm doing the circle, and it's coming from my shoulder. Yeah, it's not coming from my elbow. Now, if that's a problem, what are you supposed to do? Drop your arms down here. Do a few down here, and then come back here. But I want you to notice something. I am not going any higher than my shoulder, okay? Now, I want you to squeeze your gluteal while you're doing this. Squeeze your gluteals. You're going into your toes. Keep your knees soft and just really engage those legs. Okie dokie. Now, my goal is for you to do 3 sets of 10, which would be about 30. And I'm not sure where we're at, but it feels like I'm somewhere into the 20s. So let's just do 5 more. Okie dokie. Okay, that's 3 more. Okay, 2 more and 1 more. Bring those arms down. Oh. So I knew that unless I did the full 30, you weren't gonna log off and then go do these. So I wanted to do them with you. Why? Because I want to get your attention. 30 reps is not nothing. 30 reps on some of these moves, especially if you hit it correctly with your moves, is something. So we are right at the end of class. So let's just finish this. Okie dokie. So this time I'm just going to do a split stance because I'm stretching the back leg. And then I will change. And if you notice, my palms are up, but I'm not going up above my shoulder level. My thumbs are backward. Okay, ducky? Stay with me. Yeah, I think we're pressing toward 20 right now, I think. Take a big breath. Keep your arms pretty straight. Bring them down here if you need to. It's okay. Do a few down here. Take a breath. Okay, and then after you've rested a bit with a few, then come up to shoulder. See that? Switch your stance. Drop your shoulders. I know. Okay, 5 more. 1, 2, breath. 3, breaths. 4, breaths. 5. Bring them down. Pendulum. Pendulum. And then a back slap. Your knees are soft. Open, slap. Open, slap. Open, slap. And when you do this, you want to keep your knees soft. Number 1, you want to keep your shoulders down. Chin tucked. Breath. 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 Woo! Okay, we're out of here. I know, I pushed it. Good job, you guys. You should be shaking a little right now if you did this right.